I know this is a really kind of confusing topic to explain, um, but when doing offset printing, we can have an inner gutter margin. And there's some funny things that we have to do to the page spread in order to create that inner margin. However, with POD, we can't have an inner margin. The the POD equipment, the printers, they don't print. They don't trim that inside gutter. All right, so we can't have an inner gutter. So if we have books that have images such as this that spread across a page, there are things that we have to do to kind of fake that image coming together. Now, if it's a picture that doesn't have detail, but like you said, it was a counting book, so you definitely don't want those to get lost in the gutter. And to be honest, this is a situation where I always recommend my clients that are doing children's books is that they get me involved at the beginning to discuss the limitations with the illustrators, because a lot of illustrators do not understand print concepts. So oftentimes I will get involved in the beginning stages to make sure they set up the illustrations properly. But that isn't always the case, so we have to work with what we're given. So when we have images that cross over that have detail, we have to fake them. So on this particular layout, it looks like, this is the same photo, okay? So you can tell, whoops, hold on. My computer, I need a new computer. All right, so we have the image duplicated on each page. So here is the full image on that page, and here's the full image on this page, okay? So what we do in these crossover situations where we want to make sure the image looks as good as possible, because we're going to have that gutter area, we need to figure out what the crossover is. So it's typically recommended for books that are over 20 pages that you have 1/4 of an inch crossover. So what you need to do in that situation is actually duplicate the image on the second page and duplicate 1/4 of an inch of that image. All right, so we're roughly there. So you can see his Adidas logo here, and you can see his Adidas logo here. Well, it's the same in the image, but we have it duplicated. Oh gosh, this is so confusing, I know. But we have it duplicated that 1/4 of an inch on this side for that crossover bleed. So when we look at it in the actual printed book that I have, it actually, you can't tell that it's duplicated. It actually comes together pretty well and looks like an almost solid image with the gutter in the middle. Now, this particular book that I'm doing here was like 70, no, it was about 50 pages total, I guess. Well, maybe not even that many. It was 45. So I probably, in looking at the end result now, you can't really tell, but it is off a little bit, but I probably should have extended it out a little bit more because it is a thicker book, but I think you will be okay with duplicating 1/4 of an inch of the image on the next side. So when they come together, that duplication of the image will be hidden in the gutter. Okay, so what's going to happen is that the gutter is going to be about like this. So this is going to be in the gutter, and then the image is going to come together to meet at these 2 points. I hope that makes sense because it's just one of those topics where it's really easy. Once you get it, it's really easy to understand, but it's really difficult to explain. And just hope you never have to do it for an offset print job because then it becomes a real nightmare. Anyway, I hope that helps.